I have my skepticism about the practical and ethical utility of placing women on the front lines, for example, in battle positions. And there's obviously a huge disparity in physical strength, and probably an innate aggression. And, and that could go one way or another, because it isn't completely obvious that the most aggressive soldiers are the best, even though that might seem self-evident. Now, you've been there. So what did you conclude about the integration of women into the armed forces? What's good about that, and what's not good about it, assuming there is anything not good about it?
My position on this, and this is based on my experience, is that we should have the best people for the job, whatever that job may be, the people who are best equipped, who are best trained, who have the capabilities, both, mental, emotional, and physical. And that women on their face, simply for their gender, should not be disqualified from various jobs simply because of that. I have served alongside, obviously, many men and women, people who have been very good at their jobs because of their skills and their capabilities, and others who don't have those skills and capabilities. And so whether those jobs are serving as an infantry soldier or an artillery soldier, whether you're serving in a combat unit or a support unit, what I want, both as a soldier, who I want to be serving alongside, but also I think when you look at this from a policy perspective, what we should want as a country is we need the best people who are best equipped to do the job. Not all women are best equipped to serve in a combat unit. Not all men are best equipped to serve in a combat unit.
Yeah.
So there should not be an arbitrary standard simply based on gender, but rather set the standard. And if you meet the standard, whether you're a man or a woman, then you want the job, go get it. I don't believe
so it's pure merit-based evaluation.
Correct.
As far as you're concerned.
Correct.
I guess that brings up two problems, I suppose. One is that there are physical standards set for jobs like firefighter and policeman and obviously military practitioner, soldier. And those standards, especially in elite units, are extremely high. I mean, they're high enough so most men can't manage them at all. And because of the difference, especially in upper body strength, women have a lot of stamina, but difference in upper body strength really differentiates men from women. If the physical standards are set high enough to exclude, say, 95% of men, they're going to exclude virtually all women. And then the question comes up, well, should you keep the standards? And obviously some level of physical prowess is necessary, but if the standard is 100% exclusionary on the sex front, then it raises the question of whether the standard itself is sexist, let's say, in a counterproductive manner. And so,
sure.
Thoughts about that?
I think the question is what is the basis for the standard? And I know that there are some standards that have been set traditionally, and in the military, well, this is an elite unit, so the standards must be exclusionary, so we only get the most elite people. But are those standards simply based on a concept of elitism, I guess, in this context, or are they set based on the conditions that soldiers serving in that particular unit will be likely to face? Are they based on the reality of the requirements of the job? And so if we're in a situation, and there are jobs, both in the military, as you mentioned, first responders and others, if those standards are set on a realistic assessment of what this job will require, and it turns out that, hey, 1 out of 100 women who apply actually qualifies, then so be it. Whatever, if there are a greater number of men who qualify, then so be it. If we have people who get these jobs who cannot do the job, then it's pointless, and it puts themselves and it puts the entire unit and mission at risk in doing so.